Stay there.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dear Lord, please be with us today as we deliberate the business of the county here. Help us, Lord, to just do the right thing, Lord, and be kind and be good and help us to follow in your footsteps, Lord. Just ask all these things in the name of your Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Steve. Hi, Bree.
We can do the minutes.
I got to see your sweet mama yesterday.
I'm sorry. Oh, wait, this is recorded.
All right, Steve, did you have a chance to look at the minutes?
I did.
From August 8th?
Looks fine to me. I'll make a motion to approve.
All right, I'll second that.
Hey, Stan, you had a couple of questions that I don't think I'm wrong on, but I want to verify that with Bree, if you want to ask on those two things, where to take those from. You have your screen called up where she could look or not?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I got the paper on the screen.
Around,
So,
he had a question on where to pay a couple of different things from.
yeah. So,
I knew what I thought, but I wanted to get your,
it would be the postage.
Bring in the expert, not Tony.
This. So.
yeah,
Jeff, he knows.
Let me see. Oh, to get it.
And
That's pretty good.
if we approve the postage meter, it would.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I was right. Never hurts to.
So, we've got postage, which is,
That's like your actual.
and then we've got a postage meter, which is,
I don't think there's enough in the one. It's not a new one.
Oh, I mean,
so those were the two questions anyway.
Unless you can take it out of equipment.
if you're gonna purchase it, you could take it out of equipment. If
Which,
you're going to
And
rent.
there should be enough in there.
I would say you would pay it
Ed,
out
are
of
you
that.
gonna rent or buy postage machine? Lease?
So
yeah.
then it would
'cause
have
there's-
to, so it couldn't come out of
And it
equipment.
would have
because
to
it's
come out of that, and
ours.
there's not enough money in that
Okay.
line.
So you would have to take it out of that one that's a meter, switch meter rent.
Postage meter, right, okay.
Mhm.
And then I wasn't sure if
That
we
was,
go ahead and
that was
approve that.
approved prior
That's
by
ARPA.
ARPA.
Yeah,
Right, so.
But that ARPA was already approved. This is a separate thing. I don't know if it still can fall.
no,
Well-
because they approved 19.5, didn't they?
I was thinking they
I
did.
think so.
I have to look back, but I think they approved 19.5. and
If
we've
they
only
approve
paid-
that much and that is still under that, then we're fine.
Yes.
Okay,
You just have to turn in that invoice.
Yes.
okay,
If we're wrong on that amount,
Yes. I
Then
think
we-
that's, I'll look at the ordinance, but I, or the resolution, I thought it was approved in 19.5.
You're better.
First was approved in 17.5.
Yeah.
Without
Noise
that.
not good. That's-
Gotcha.
so that
All right.
would be, you could just approve that and turn it in an invoice. If that's the case.
This chair here is a bit higher. Those chairs.
Yeah. All right, thank
Thanks.
you.
I just wanted to verify
Yeah.
we were correct on that.
Mhm.
Thank you.
You can go back up and have mocha and muffins. All right,
I don't think we have any.
all right, very good. Tony, what else do you have for us today?
Recognize our new 5-member board.
That's right.
Absolutely. After 7 or 8 years of covering you guys, it dawned on me, I might hear better that way than behind them.
Now,
Well,
if you
to
do
Jared,
that
let's
with
go.
council, you're gonna have to get
Oh,
in
yeah, we
between.
can't do it as a council.
No, we understand.
Okay.
Should we bring Ed up so it's fair?
Hey, somebody left me a meal ticket for a pork dinner to Lutheran school.
I would like to hear Ed do a play-by-play of our meetings.
There you go, yeah.
You got the radio down.
Just like he calls a game, yeah.
You know, many years ago, when we had Decatur City Court, I would sit next to the judge up there, judge at the time, Larry, what's his name? And I would actually make change when people paid their fines. I had the cash box in front of me. I was taking notes and making money when they would make change. It was like Mayberry.
All right.
Yeah.
All right,
Actually,
Tony, what else do you have?
Actually, I thought I could do better storage if I copied off of Varied.
All right. So, all right, what else do you have for us, Tony?
We have Allied Weekly Health Insurance claims, all medical, in the amount of $31,330.07. And once again, as you notice, I verified on here that they are all actual claimants.
Good.
All right. So will
31,
that be
3307.
So that will that be typically acceptable the way you're doing it with this? I mean, to me, it's fine if you.
I am going to assume so because Allied was struggling with trying to find something that didn't have the private information on it. And Shannon may have heard the same thing, all State Board wanted was for us to verify that they are our claimants. And by doing this and looking at it, Bree, myself, and Shannon are the three that can verify that. And as auditor, I'm signing off that we've seen that, or at least one of us has seen that. I don't see why that wouldn't be acceptable to State Board. That's what they said they wanted.
Yeah, because it's certainly fine by me, so, yeah.
Our concern was HIPAA and.
I mean, I told Tony when that came up with SBOA that I don't think that's feasible, but I'll let you guys find that out.
Yeah.
I mean, asking us to, I mean, there's a difference between verifying claimants versus claims, and asking us to verify claims is not feasible. And
Because
asking
we're
us
not
to
privy
verify-
to,
That's why we have.
but we
TPA.
argued that with them.
But their main point was they wanted to make sure that all the claims we were approving
Were actually-
were for eligible
Right.
people.
Yeah.
Claimants is different than claims,
Sure.
but again, I mean, I don't know, that's why we have a TPA, that's why we pay them good money, is to make sure that our claimants,
Well, it's not the only thing the State Board wanted that we never did before that really shouldn't matter, but
right? So,
Okay,
if it pleases them when they come, then that's fine.
all right. Very good.
Okay.
Did we do that? Did we approve that? Do you need a motion on that, or we already?
We
Sleep through
made a
that.
motion, yeah.
Motion approved?
Pass that down.
Second.
Okay, next, we have payroll claims. And the amount of the payroll claims is $358,529.42, $358,529.42.
22.
Make a motion to approve the payroll claims.
Second.
$358,529.42.
Okay. Then we have the payroll AP claims. As we were discussing, this is one of the State Board things that they wanted a while back. And this is showing you guys to be able to approve and sign off on the benefits and so forth for employees. The amount for the payroll AP claims is $319,910.82, $319,910.82.
And that's pretty typical.
What does AP mean, Tony?
You've asked me that before.
Associated Press.
Accounts payable.
Is that what it is? Oh, okay.
What do you say?
Yeah,
The
and
accountant
it's-
in the room can answer that one for
and
you.
it's just the benefits.
The banker knows everything else.
I mean, it's not any major deal. It's just something State Board, not this audit, but the previous audit before that wanted these guys to see.
So it's not the actual salaries, it's the
Benefits, I guess.
benefits.
Yep. And now yet another thing that State Board wanted, and this is the payroll time card approval that we all had discussed, and this has the people, the department heads and so forth that don't necessarily punch, that you all appoint. This is showing you their time cards, so forth and so on, that you sign off on. That's what State Board said they wanted for you. I mean,
appointed positions.
yes, and this is all of those in here. It shows you everything you need to see. I mean, Steve and I had talked, and I pretty much feel like when you guys approve this, you're saying that, hey, we recognize the auditor's office is doing this correctly and we're signing off on it, but since they wanted to see this, here you go.
Well, and that's what Bree sent out to us.
Yep.
So
Yep.
we have seen this, and have you had a chance to see it,
I have,
Steve?
yep. Yep,
All
I
right.
appreciate it. I think it's good. I'm okay with it, Tony. I appreciate the
Yeah.
extra work. I think it's good that we're doing it.
Okay,
I think that should appease them as well, so.
all right,
Make a motion to approve.
second.
And I did hand out to you all just now the health insurance account balances, and that was prior to what you just approved of 31,000. But in checking prior to that, there was 295,180.19. So if you subtract the 31 from that, that's going to be your new checking total. In reserve is 2,520,254.26, which I had passed out to you. That's just to give you a running update. Treasurer's office and our office work closely on the health insurance accounts and make sure there's enough in there to cover things. So
Okay,
that was just point of information.
all right, I think we're all right on that, and I don't think we need any motions. We don't need any action. Thank you.
So the last thing that I have right now is the accounts payable claims. And the accounts payable claims are in the amount of $531,728.04, $531,728.04. And I know you had received that. I know there's some decent sized highway amounts and IT amounts for licensing and so forth, which I think reflects why it's a little higher than what it has been the last few times. Unless you had specific questions. There's a AT&T Mobility 42,000 in there as well. So there's those 4 or 5 big ones kind of really added up to that.
Steve, did you have a chance to look through those?
I did. Let me just glance through here again, make sure there wasn't
Okay.
anything I had any questions about.
While he's looking at that, I did want to explain that Steve Coons was not able to be here on short notice today. He had a family emergency. So he is on his way to Arkansas. So he does apologize for missing the meeting today,
I have no
especially on
questions. I'll make
short
a
notice.
motion to approve.
Okay,
There's that.
all right, I'll second that.
Get all of those from Steve here later down there. Shannon, you're going to be our official attorney today. Huh? How about Brad?
I got some questions for him, so I guess I could ask myself.
Okay. Unless Eric wants to fill in.
No, I can't. I'm not legal.
Eric, you want to be the attorney?
I'm not legal.
No? Okay. No.
I flunked law school.
Anybody sleep at a Holiday Inn last night?
Maybe Mike Whirling could give it a whirl. I don't know.
All right,
That's all I have.
okay, thank you, Tony. All right, Brad, you have anything for us today?
Few things.
When you say a few,
Okay, 4 plus 2 comments.
All right,
That's it.
So we requested to do our paint striping a month ago or so, and today was the day that the bids were due for paint striping.
That's along road signs, right?
It's
Where,
basically what we do is we chip seal the road and then we'll fog seal it, which makes it black, kind of locks it in together, and then we put stripes on it.
spit stripes.
Yeah.
what'd you end up with? 4 bids?
Yes.
Okay.
So the first one is from the Air Marking Company, and they are out of Rochester, Indiana. And, okay, there's their non-collusion affidavit. And their bid for, oh wait, it's 19.429 miles. But when you figure, when we white line stuff or they do the double yellow lines, it basically doubles it. So the total was 40.898 miles. So it sounds like a lot more than it really is. So the Air Marking Company's bid is $113,015.50. $113,015.50.
How do you spell? Is that ARA or how do you?
What was it?
AIR,
What was their first name? Martin, what?
Air Marking, the Air Marking.
Air marking, not Martin, air marking,
Yeah.
okay.
What? Air?
Air marking, MARKIN. Yeah, I just hear it too.
The second one is, it's Victory Trucking Supply, but it's Three Rivers Barricade. It's the part of the company that actually does the paint striping. And they have their non-collusion. and their bid is $115,475.50. $115,475.50.
That's Fort Wayne.
Good
morning, Mark.
Yes, they're out of Fort Wayne.
115 for 75.50.
All right. Oh, we did the double.
High security. Get the combat knife out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Prepared for anything.
Where's Zerby at when you need him?
Yeah.
Go get your chainsaw.
All right.
There we go.
The third one is from Oglesby Construction. They're out of Norwalk, Ohio. And I have their non-inclusion.
How do you spell Ogle's name?
Oglesby.
My gosh, I got it right. That's how I had it.
I guess it.
Common spelling.
Oglesby Construction out of Norwalk, Ohio. Their bid is $141,338.40. $141,338.40. And of course they did it too. All right.
So can I ask you guys a question? With the, one of the things that the state board wanted was that thing saying, the extra letter saying that
They are not suspended or debarred.
that they're not, I mean, is that
Is
something?
that just for federal contracts, though?
It's
Oh,
federal,
is it?
anything involving federal monies,
So that doesn't necessarily include what we're doing
unless
today?
it's federal dollars.
I
Okay,
had the same question in my head, and I thought, no, I think
And,
that's.
and state board, I had sent some clarification on that, and I think I sent you all the answer, including Mark, that really the county attorney come up with that language in contracts that are done with federal dollars that stipulates that they have that in.
is there any reason for us to ask for that on our own outside of federal money? I mean, is
We
it
could
is it a
create
prudent thing?
we could create an affidavit that they submit with a bid, but
I mean, I don't know if it's necessary.
I don't think it's
It's
necessary.
just trying
unless
to
it's
prove
federal.
that they are in good standing. It's a company in good standing that, not some fly-by-night company that,
Okay,
So the final one is from A&A Safety Incorporated out of Amelia, Ohio. And I have their non-collusion. And their bid is $172,385.09. $172,385.09.
do they all use the same type of paint?
Yeah, it's specified in their bid packet. And it's a multi-component paint, which basically follows NDOT specs. I mean, we don't follow them exactly because technically you don't have to stripe a road unless there's a certain amount of vehicle traffic. We really don't have any roads that would meet that, but just for safety, and like I've said before, it's our bigger roads, like we're doing Piqua, 000 this year. And it's our more heavily traveled, but
Because like when you go out of town north, you got Winchester Road.
yep.
And then you go from the city to the county. The city lines are bright and clear, and then you get out on the chip and seal,
Yeah.
and it's like they're almost gone. But I didn't know if that's two different
Yeah.
types of paint.
Well, no, I don't know. There's two different types of paint, but you gotta figure too, the city's is pavement and
Okay,
ours is chip and seal.
okay,
So when traffic runs over the chip and seal, it's always kind of grinding away at that, those stones. It kind of grinds off that top layer. Because
okay.
if it's interesting, maybe if you go out there and you look at those lines, you can see it's down
Oh,
in between the stones, but the top of the stones is starting to get rubbed off a little bit. so,
yeah, 'cause it's a big difference.
Yeah,
Yeah. from
it
one
is.
to the other. Okay. Well, do we need, to take those under advisement, or do you want to take action today?
No, I'd like to take them under advisement for a week, give me a chance to check them and make sure they're all the
Okay,
apples to apples.
Make a motion to take those under advisement.
okay, second.
And the total amount of miles painted is 40.898.
Yep, that is correct.
All right.
All right, one of the other things that I have, and it's the Bridge 27 appraisals for right-of-way. Bridge 27 is right there on Pickler Road before Monmouth. It's the bigger one. That's one of them that's being engineered by Butler Fairman, for eventual replacement here. So anyhow, part of their project, they need a little more right-of-way, so they got more room. And so I gave this to Mark and went through it.
Yeah, it's fine.
And so now my next question is, when they sent me the paperwork, they've got my name down as signing it. Is that okay, or do one of them need to sign it?
Let me see how it reads.
So anyhow, what it is, while Mark's looking at that, one of the properties is 0.184 acres. That's for $1,100. And the other property is 0.161 acres, and that's $900. And they do, they send out the surveyors and that, and they survey, see what they need. They do get the appraisals, they figure out, how they do it.
Trying to get out the contract.
Yeah, send me that contract.
Okay,
Do you
because
have
I've
the
been
most
like,
current one?
because
Send me the
I've
most
been
current one.
talking to.
Okay,
All right,
send me the contract we have currently.
all right.
Yep.
All right. So, back to you, you're looking for,
He just told me.
the appraisals on that property.
This is actually, they're ready to make an offer
Okay.
for that.
And he said.
Additional property. This is very commonplace when they do a bridge nowadays.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I would just have the commissioners approve it and then make a copy of this so that Tony's got a copy of it.
Yeah.
And then I'd have Stan sign it down here
Down
and
below.
you sign right there.
Okay.
Is there two?
Yeah.
Two of them, yeah. Yeah, just have, just need you to both approve it.
Okay,
Motion to approve it.
I'll make that motion.
second.
Okay. And then here.
That's near Monmouth, you said, right, Brad?
Yeah, it's the big
Sign
sign
right
right
down, sign your name down here, Commissioner.
Gotcha.
Brad will sign
No,
it.
I don't remember
All
now.
right.
60 or 70?
Brad.
Yeah,
That's gonna be replaced.
Yes, it's gonna be
How soon, when roughly?
We don't know. This is just, they're engineering them so we can have the plans and be ready to go when we are ready to
Okay,
replace.
all right.
That's over the Gerke legal open drain. Am I
Okay.
right on that one?
Yes.
Gerke.
I wouldn't need that much detail, but that's.
And it flows south to north, and it's usually about 2 foot deep.
Okay, and very wet.
Then you sign it, date it.
Okay.
and then
He
we
just
get
wants
back
us to
stamp
know.
and send it to Tony.
Any fish, Mike? Any fish?
Is there a dollar amount on that?
You just want us to know you're starting to get to know the county, aren't you?
I'll get you a copy of all of it then.
Okay. I'll just fill that out up there later then.
It's for Steve and Joanna Bush. It's $1,100.
Sorry, and I guess I should have said that. And the other one is for Rodney L. and Nola C. Rains for $900. So then the only other thing I would have today, well, for one thing, we've got, with the rain, of course, we got about 2 days of running and we'll be done with chip seal. So we basically got to go on 000 from 9 south up to Monroe, and we're done. So we're close.
Looks like you had the mowers out.
The mowers are out. Again, yeah, on the days when we don't need everybody, the mowers are out mowing.
Yeah, good.
The only other thing we talked about a little bit, I got thinking about, on 950 South where the hospital's new building is going up down there by Geneva, it's been discussed about the speed limit. Well, they didn't pass that law where the commissioners could take it to whatever they wanted to, but I was wondering if it would hurt if we go ahead and take it down to what we could for now.
You can, do we have any speed studies?
Yeah, I'd send you all the speed studies and all that stuff. And I just
We can-
wondered.
Based upon the speed study, we can adjust it as long as we have a speed study.
Yes. And that was just something I thought I'd bring up today is maybe we can discuss it more next week or something. But I just thought I'd at least bring it up. And other than that, that's all I got.
Thank you.
Hey, Brad,
Yeah,
that speed, how far are you going to the west?
150 west.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
What is it now, speed limit?
55.
You want to go to what, you think? 45, 40, or 35?
Would have liked to went to 35, but the law or the bill did not pass at the state to allow them to do that. But you can take it down so much.
You can't go 35.
You
do
just,
something.
you can only go down so much from the speed study, what the 85th percentile of the speed is.
I
So
see,
They
okay.
base that on the residential houses that are there.
the amount of traffic, type of traffic, speed of traffic. Yeah.
Thank you, Brad.
Thank you.
Hey, Brad. 2 days after what, chip and seal?
Yes.
Okay, I did it, well, the CNS. Down CNS.
All right. Rick, do you have anything for us today?
Just a few things.
All right.
Just a couple of updates. Last Friday, we had shredding. Here at the complex, we had 6,176 pounds of shredding.
Do they charge by pound? Is that how they do
I
that?
believe it is. Shelley Bright kind of set this up, so I don't know what they're charging now. Courthouse was 2,813 pounds is what they had. So we had quite a bit this, as you can probably see some of the boxes. The boxes out there, Tony, I guess we can send something out saying, hey, you guys want your boxes, come get them. I know they're probably expensive to buy them, so still several out there.
Rick, that covered, what time period? About a year, 6 months? How much time?
We didn't do it.
Covered.
It's been at least 2 years since.
Oh, 2
we've
years.
done it.
Okay, maybe 2 years.
COVID had came in and
Yeah, okay. All right.
Well, hopefully as we shred, we'll end up with less and less papers to shred
I
eventually.
think this was a build up.
Cleaned out our storage room for
Did it really?
Yeah,
70, 80 boxes.
it was a lot.
Did the treasurer have a lot to shred?
53 boxes.
Wow.
I think there was roughly 100 boxes out of the public defender. So it was.
Good. Thank you.
As of right now, the roof construction should start the 28th, the week of the 28th.
Yeah.
Weather permitting. We didn't have a fire extinguisher testing here. We had to replace some because it was end of life on it. So it went well. Last meeting, you had approved Service Electric of Newens. Got the contract, and I did ask if they needed something from us. All they would like is just a signature on the quote.
Is that from all of us or just me or how?
Just one, I think, but you know, I'm signing.
The only thing, is that a contract that you need to look at, Mark, or is that since it's just a quote or?
This is just a quote.
How much is it for?
Yeah.
$253,930.
What is it on?
The roof.
No. It's getting the roof, power in.
Oh, sorry.
For the generator thing, is
Yeah.
that what was already approved?
Yeah.
Last meeting, I think?
Yeah.
Council?
Yeah. And they approved it last week. They won
They were the low bidder.
they were low bidder.
Yeah, you can accept it as the low bid. Do they have a contract?
And that's all that they gave us. Well, we had scope of work and spec for them.
Well, we ought to have them sign an actual contract for the work. You know, they can accept this as the low bid, but we'll still need to have them sign a contract that has the contract language in it that we need and insurance.
I'm gonna look, I might have a scope of work. Here's the company.
Shamball and Sons.
Oh, that's the Shamble?
No. And he
Yeah,
said,
this one here is.
storage flights.
Same one that Service Electric, all of them did.
But after our storage. Storage came out, he said,
Hey, Brad.
storage.
Let's see,
Real complicated. Most of them, the ITCH about the reservoirs.
Yes.
Once each other.
He's taking his seats.
Yeah.
What's that telling us?
Yeah, that
The only
much.
thing I feel bad about.
Because the folks who live out there, nobody, that's what they do.
Scope of work.
I asked him,
That's a generator project.
we need a little edges. I said, this one here, I said, what's gonna happen?
Shamball, you know.
He comes to have no place.
Service Electric got the other ones, they were low.
Program form.
We can set it within 5 mile an hour of that.
Done.
Yes. Oh, yeah. I thought it was.
And I said, you know, this replace the happening.
Oh, yeah. People didn't need it.
There's not many people, it's always gonna need some. They can't let them in the middle of the ditch.
Do this 5 hour.
Okay. And
That's work with me from.
27 to
Situation.
A lot of them, that's their family. Place in some place that's good there. It's gonna be a whole new surroundings for them.
Right.
They're gonna be all.
It's like a one.
And see, the.
And maybe some of them just aren't good enough to even think about
This
that.
is for.
Yeah, that's just similar.
Yeah.
This one here.
When I talk the roads, it's a bigger concern is about the show what we can do for us.
Will they have probably?
So,
Those are good.
so you got.
Yeah, just make sure Tony's got all the, well, he's got all the quotes from last week.
They got At this point, we're just waiting on invoices.
I know it.
Can't pay a quote.
It's coming. I knew we ever seen a like that for long, and it's nothing but that crack.
This one here is, signed.
So far, all you've done today is they approved the low bid channel.
Which they did that last week. All I'm doing here
Have them
is
sign it?
they're signing a quote. Shamball wanted to quote back a signature box. That's what we did. Last week,
So
they
approved signing.
were signing a quote.
We need some motion miles.
Then we blood a little
Yeah,
bit.
I wouldn't think so. We made the motion last week to approve the Shamball.
Well, all you're doing is approving signing it. I mean,
Because last week you had asked me, do they need anything from us?
it doesn't really hurt to take action if you want to take action. It's in the minutes as all you're doing is approving, signing what you already approved because Shamball wants it signed.
We just note the minutes. I mean, if it was approved last week, note in the minutes that they received it and they signed it. That's fine.
The best thing, not smoking, drinking, I never smoked a drink.
No, I didn't.
All right.
Thank you.
As long as we have a record of it being approved.
What the my doctor said one time, he said, you don't know what you've done for yourself.
These are all Tony's copies.
Those are stands, but
Never had a
Oh,
need.
these are.
I don't know if there's anything we need to.
Well,
If I need them, just scan them and send them to me or take them upstairs, make copies or whatever. Rick, how's that?
I can get you whatever you need because I have a full.
Should, Tony keep these for the sake of the contract, or should they send them to you?
as long as you've got a copy of all the quotes.
I think we already have this upstairs and
There's a signature. That's the signature.
That's the
It's done
signature.
today.
Gotcha.
Hey, Rick, it's the roof work, Ohio Roofing, that's who's doing the work project. I think you said that last week, Ohio Roofing.
It is,
Then they
it
come.
is.
It's out of St. Henry.
St.
Henry, Ohio. And it's about $90,000 roughly?
Yeah.
Okay, I think I remember it's last week too. Okay, thank you.
I think St. Henry was the patron saint of roofing.
You got good lines, who's writing your stuff? Got those Hollywood writers working for you.
So some people put the statues in the yard, we put this one.
We wait a second.
What he said.
Even,
Okay.
used to pay the St. Henry, the patron
All
saint
right.
of roofing.
Thank you. Rick. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, Ed, what did you have for us?
Good morning.
Across on a shingle. and
Three
break it.
quick things. I just want to let you know the RFP is all on schedule. The bids are due this Friday, vote them next week, and vote on them the week after that. So all that's going according to schedule. Tax sale, everything's going according to schedule. It'll be Tuesday, October 31st, when we'll actually have this auction. But the main thing I would like to talk with you gentlemen about this morning is a postage machine. Last week I came here and said everything was working fine with it. I go back upstairs and it had froze up and we could not use it at all Tuesday. We had to go and pay full price for 1 day's worth of postage. We eliminated that as little as we could. The next day it started up, it's been running fine. But it behooved me to start digging into what the replacement cost was going to be. And I did so, all sorts of facts and figures here, comparisons with other machines, if you want to dig into the weeds with all that. But in my mind, and with Mike Brown, the change committee upstairs, it makes sense to lease it rather than purchase it. And the lease price would be $333.06 per month, payable quarterly. And
then they would maintain the machine.
yes, that includes all full maintenance and all of the monthly things that we're paying now. It's the whole thing. And in 4 years, this is a 4-year lease, they would come and get the machine, give us another machine, updated, brand new one, and we would just continue on with the lease on at that point.
And then any of the peripherals that we have as far as,
We have about just shy of $2,000 worth of ink and special tape that you have to use. You have to use it in these Pitney Bowes machines.
and we
Can't
could still,
falsify it.
we could
All
still
that
use it.
transfers over. All that
Okay.
transfers over. We have about $17,000 in an account that's in an electronic account that ties to the machine, and that'll transfer over to the new machine. This is just a more modern, up-to-date version of what we have. It's a little bit faster. The monitor is bigger, more responsive, but it's basically the same machine.
Did you have an outright purchase price to compare that lease amount to, or?
Yes, the purchase price would be about $1,600 savings if you put it out over 4 years. If we would purchase it outright rather than lease it. I mean,
But our current machine no longer has a maintenance contract.
no,
And so it's kind of outdated. So we
It
would run,
was-
if we purchased the new machine, we would run into the same situation several
Yes.
years down the road.
if we would purchase it outright rather than lease it, it would be $1,689.76 savings if we purchased it. But then we would have all those monthly payments that would occur after, which is $6,313 a year that would incur after the first year. It's 1 year maintenance if you purchase it. And then years 2, 3, and 4, we would have to pay that, an additional $6,313. So doing all the numbers, it makes sense to lease it. Mike thinks it upstairs, but seems to me.
So you're looking for us to put our stamp of approval on.
$333.06 a month.
Did we decide what account that needed to come out of, and if we got a?
I talked to
leasing
Tony and Bree, and I think we can come out of, let me find that number on here.
And this comes out of the commissioner's budget. Postage stuff.
I will let you know that we do approximately 51,000 letters a year
machine, and having 8 years, you guys do the math. It's a lot of letters that's gone through that whole machine.
We have 31904, which is the postage meter, rent repair copy paper.
Okay, yep.
And it looks like we're still okay. Well, we've only got 717 left out of it.
Yeah, we might have to do a transfer,
It does
cover that.
$51,100
for
per
the end of
year.
the year.
It looks like it's covered at least for,
What's,
Couple months
what's the name
anyway.
of the machine? or
well,
What is
just
it?
pay quarterly.
Because if we do that,
Postage machine.
What is it?
Postage machine.
Okay.
Run it through.
Postage
Ours
is-
is what we have now, very worn out.
Yeah, I think that's the right account, the postage meter rent repair
just might need to transfer.
account, we just might need to
and
transfer.
if we have
at
to
the end of the year,
transfer, we'll have to transfer.
So I agree with, let's use that
Okay.
fund and, but I make a motion to approve the lease of a new postage machine, a 48-month lease for $333.06 a month.
I'd second that.
I need a signature if you please, and I can get that here within a week.
Thanks for your research on that, Ed.
I will say that it's a QPA, it's already been vetted with the state of Indiana, just right above your name there.
And when you get an
That's
invoice
303.
on that, you will need to,
$333.06.
333, 33s, okay, I didn't have that, okay.
you need to submit the invoice, just like even the other invoice, but it's gotta come out.
For how long? 330,
We'll make a copy. We'll help you let me know, but it's in your
333 a
office,
month.
so
$333.06.
either they can send it,
$333.06.
if they send it quarterly, they can send it to us, we can take care of it.
It's
Somebody's
actually,
gonna have to get us a claim though.
in the lease, it actually is billed to you.
Well, then,
Shipped to me and billed to you.
I don't like the way you're doing that.
Even better.
Everything is going to him and I'm paying it.
Is this Pitney Bowes company or is it another company?
Pitney
or
Bowes.
With directly with it, okay.
It's kind of like he'll invite you out to supper as long as you're buying.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
very nice.
All right,
Brad,
so
when you do a bridge,
Any other questions?
just sign for it and have Mike.
Thanks, Ed.
Thank
Good
you,
work.
gentlemen. I have all sorts of
Tony,
information if you'd like more later.
Tony,
Huh?
I just gave you a quote. That last was a good one. Everything goes to him and paid by me.
Yeah. That's
Said,
okay.
said Tony.
All
I'll
right.
pay it. I don't want to get
Thank
in trouble.
you, Ed. Shelley's not here yet.
I spoke with Shelley and she's not coming over today. We've got to get together and meet this week with her and Ann and make
So
some
that'll be
more.
tabled till next
Yep.
week.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay,
That's why I was late getting over here.
okay. Was she also gonna look at the replat lot one of Arnold's Wood subdivision, or was that Mark?
That's Mark
That's
Whitmer.
Mark Lynn.
Okay, yeah. All right, he's not here yet.
Shannon's here, but she just stepped out. Mike's here. Mike had something, I think.
No, I'm
Didn't
just here to heckle.
Oh,
you? Who are you gonna heckle though?
well,
Which one?
Well, everybody, but.
well, if you wanna start heckling, there's nobody else here.
You can
so,
heckle Eric and Jim.
Yeah,
He came to,
We get all
he
the
came,
time.
came to prove that he knows the names of the ditches in the county now.
yeah, no, really, did you have anything or not? No, okay, all right. Shannon's not here. As far as the Golden Meadows discussion, we had taken action on that last week, and we continue to work with the hospital as they continue to assess the residents. We did have another discussion with the employees, and also we had another discussion with the residents. So we continue to communicate with staff, residents, and residents' families, and we also continue to depend on the ongoing evaluation and advice from the hospital from a clinical and financial standpoint. So I don't know if, I guess I was gonna wait for Shannon to
I would
bring,
think Shannon probably would
to
want to
bring
present
that
that,
up.
yeah.
So-
If I could just, I'd like to thank our media. I really appreciated the coverage that we got on that. That was a pretty delicate subject. And I thought that the thoroughness and that really helped us get kind of the whole message out there. And so thanks to all of you for helping us through a tough discussion and tough situation. And
Thank you.
obviously those things that we do, it's not always fun to do the things that we do up here, but sometimes you have to take a tough stance and you all helped us explain that very well to the public, I thought. I just want to say thank you.
Yeah.
I just would say that, as do you, you know that I have a real heart for people. And and Eric does too, but when I write things like this, I really try to make them sensitive so that no one gets blamed for anything and you're all concerned. I feel that way too.
I felt like our concern, all the commissioners share concern, not only for the residents out there, but for the staff. I thought you all did a good job of portraying that. Thank you.
Yep. Very good.
Very good.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
All right.
Is it me?
You're on.
We did start the discussion on Golden Meadows. And so, it's been, just kind of a real brief update, but I didn't know if you wanted to bring up anything on that.
Yes, I do. So we have been working towards hiring an administrator out there. We have identified an individual after an interview process, and I have a signed contract for services ready to go. Do you want me to do this? I didn't ask.
Yeah, no, that's all right. We made the revisions.
Yeah, Mark and Clayton have both reviewed it, but she signed on Friday. So I will print that for you guys and let you look over it, and then assuming that you're good with it, you can sign it
Is that the same one you forwarded to us for a review?
yesterday.
That was the one with the revisions that you sent to us? Okay.
Yes.
Good.
Because I've got a copy of that too.
Yeah.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but as long as you guys are okay with this, and it's got one for all three of you, but is it okay if we skip Steve and I'll get him next week?
Yeah.
So this is the one that she signed, she docu-signed for me, so I hope that's
Okay.
okay. So,
All right.
thanks.
Good. Yeah, make a motion to approve
What are we approving here for me to put in the minutes?
the contract with Brenda
John.
Johns for administrator out at Golden Meadows.
Yeah, and that's an independent
She's an
contractor.
independent contractor.
So it's independent contractor agreement and the terms are, I believe it's $58 an hour.
Yeah.
Up to 30 hours per week.
And she understands kind of what our ultimate goal is there of basically placing and ultimately closing down. So she's not under any preconceived notion that this is a long-term situation at all. So
Do we
I
want
appreciate
more than
that.
one signed copy? No.
So we-
Shannon, how's your last name spelled?
Johns.
Johns?
Yeah.
I can make
What's
a
her
copy
first
of
name?
it.
Where's she from roughly?
She's
Didn't give it a whole lot.
Bluffton.
I mean, she lives in Bluffton.
Oh,
but I
lives
don't
in
know where she's
Bluffton, yeah.
from.
Listen, Bluffton. Okay, I'm just trying.
You can have it.
Can we get a
Or
copy
sign
of
it
that or
first.
not?
I don't think so. No.
No, we wouldn't.
No.
Okay, what's her first name?
Brenda?
I'll save that as well.
This one's-
How many copies do you need, Shannon?
I just need one.
Okay, that's all I need.
Tony asked for one, so I'm gonna sign another one.
I'm trying to save everything that is approved down here. So that I'm the one that.
So we're gonna call her a transitional administrator,
Her
a
title is-
transitional
Her
administrator.
title is administrator.
Yeah.
These days, I'd be careful with that word.
No surgery needed.
Y'all want anything else on Gold Meadows?
Do we want to talk a little bit about a retention package? You had kind of thrown some numbers out there for us to look at.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. I'm not sure what the process would be. I assume, I know that will have to go to council for approval. What's your preference on that, Stan? You want to kick that can down the road a little bit, or you want to?
Well, I did like you presented us with three options, and I, like you, do like the idea of option two, which gives the benefit for years of service to the employees. And so I guess I would agree that, you know, that was,
I felt that was very fair. I liked the way it was put together, both a base plan with some years of service consideration, different part-time, full-time. I thought there was just a lot of consideration there, and I thought it was really well crafted. and that makes sense to me.
But since that's, the technicalities of that are based on, negotiations with employees and stuff, I guess if that's okay, I'd rather keep that out of the papers right now.
Good.
Till we-
I assume when council approves that, then it'll probably have to be published.
Yeah.
If that is something for the upcoming budgets for 24, council's meeting on the 28th to go over whatever budgets need to be gone over.
Okay.
So that might, if
And I'd
if
like,
commissioners are coming to that,
I'd like to come in and meet with
and we've got to
council.
get you a time set up for the
Okay.
commissioner's budget, both of you whoever wants to come.
Yeah.
And that can be discussed while you're discussing it.
Okay,
And I would also like to have all three of you, if that's okay.
Yeah,
If you're
I
all
agree.
on the same page.
Yep,
Yeah,
I
so
agree.
we'll talk about it
I
with the
agree.
other team next week too, if that's okay with you.
So we're still working on that, but I think that's,
You know when you're gonna start working on placements and who's going to be in charge of that?
well, we're depending quite a bit on both the RN that the hospital has brought up to help us. And Dane is helping us because he holds his nursing home administration license. And so they're gonna help us both from a clinical standard and financial standard to find appropriate places that'll meet their needs.
And you said Dane's gonna help too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, when you plan, are they starting to work on that now or is it? Okay.
I
Thank you.
think our new administrator also will play
Pardon
a
me?
role in that. Our new administrator will also play a role in that. I know that's part of her job
Yeah.
description also. So she'll work, we've got several people that are working on that and communication with the
I'm
family.
just trying to
really
think of the
important to us.
questions I think you're gonna get.
Who is Dane? Who's that?
Dane
He
He's the
is
hospital
the
treasurer.
CFO at
What's
the
his last name? I don't know
hospital.
him.
Dane Wheeler.
Dane Wheeler,
Mhm.
yeah,
He's the hospital treasurer?
He's the hospital's chief financial officer.
chief financial officer, yeah.
Okay, I see. Yeah, I don't know him, yeah, okay.
But he's been instrumental
Yeah.
in organizing the help that we need.
Great.
He leads their, I'm not exactly sure what the right term is, but he's also over all of their nursing homes and their assisted living. And so he's also got that responsibility in addition to being the CFO.
I
So
see, okay.
that's probably the role he sits in helping us with Golden Meadows.
Like Monroeville, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So like we said, we've got two challenges. One is to maintain the current structure that provides for current residents, and the other one is to set out a path for the future of the facility. So. Very good.
The only other thing I have is we did have an employee in probation who is retiring in September. So the department had reached out to me and just wanted me to ask for permission to post, recruit for it. And then they know, I won't say they know that they have some budget for training. So as long as you guys are okay with it, if I can make it happen in time, I'd like to get them in for at least a week of training if I can. So I think I don't even know if I'll get a week, but I'm gonna try for it.
Would there be an overlap in salary then?
Yeah, there would be, but
And they've got that money in the,
yes,
okay,
they had somebody out on leave for 3 months, so they haven't spent that money, basically.
okay.
So as long as you guys are okay with that.
So we need to take action on that.
Yeah, if you don't mind.
Make a motion to approve the replacement of that retiring individual from the probation department.
Second.
All I have. Thank you.
All right.
And
Thank you, Shane. All right. Mark, did you have anything for us?
Well, I'm
Bleeding?
somewhere.
Paper cut.
I
It's
don't
a
know.
rough meeting.
Life of an attorney.
I don't know what's going on. Looking at this, speed study, so yeah, 45 mile per hour is within the 85 percentile, so I found the ordinance. I just need to clean it up a little bit, so we can bring that back next week and. you
So
can-
lower from 55 to 45, and we're
55
talking
to
about
40, 45, yep,
the stretch that runs right in front of the new Geneva clinic there.
yep. So then that'll just need to be adopted and then we publish it and then you get signs up.
Gonna go to 45 and 55, right? That was-
55 to 45.
Yeah, for the years down that way.
Yep.
Good.
One of the things that I wanted to ask you, as far as our appointment to the CMHC board, I've talked to Danielle Reed, and she said, yes, she's willing to do it. Talked to Chuck Clark is retiring from up there. And so I talked to Liz Day, and she is making arrangements to have not only our new appointment to the board, but Wells County's new appointment to the board. So I don't know if we need to prepare a resolution for Danielle Reed to be appointed to that board.
Probably just a certificate of appointment.
So, or certificate, yeah. So, but it sounds like, the recommendation from Community Corrections was unanimous. Danielle has agreed to do it, and, Liz Day, is looking forward to having her on the board. So whatever we need to do.
Do we need to take action on that or just wait till the certificate's ready to be signed?
I'll get you a certificate here. I'll let Brooke know.
Yeah. So,
What is the official designation? Is it the Adams County CMHC?
it's actually a regional provider. Park Center is our regional community mental health commission. I don't know if it's commission. I'd have to look at that again. I'd have to find that email.
Is it Daniellel, Danielle? No, Danielle.
Danielle.
DIANIELLE,
Yeah.
Reed, REED.
What's this
Correct.
board, what's this board called? What's it called?
Trying to figure that out.
Oh,
It
Stan-
is-
Stan's looking for it.
Yeah, it's it's called the CMHC board, but it's Community Mental Health Services.
Services.
What is it?
I don't know why it's C though.
Community Mental
It's
Health
co-
Services Award.
Center. Okay.
Yeah,
I couldn't think,
County
I kept
Community
wanting to
Mental
say
Health Center, I
commission.
think.
What's the name?
Played it out in my head.
What's it called again?
Community Mental Health Center, CMHC.
Okay, a center, okay.
And so out of the last legislative session, they allowed
Community Mental Health Center.
They allowed the county commissioners an additional appointment to that board.
Okay.
And so that's where this is coming out
That
of.
serves how many counties, do you know? Adams Wells, or Allen, or, you know how big it is, what counties it covers?
I know it's a regional
Regional?
board,
Okay.
and I don't know which all counties.
Would be whatever counties that Park Center, Parkview is CMHC in. And they have multiple
Right.
counties that they're considered, so I would assume that board,
Overseas.
if they were just
Right.
Adams County, it would just be. the
It's not just Adams County, yeah.
That's no big deal. And is she from Decatur, this gal here, Reed, Decatur?
Danielle Reed, yeah, she is with Child Protective Services.
Decatur, okay, good. Okay.
So it would just be to the Community Mental Health Center Board of
You can
Directors.
put on the board.
Correct.
What was her name?
Danielle Reed.
She is the local office director of the Indiana Department of Child Services, Adams County.
Thank you.
You know, is that an annual appointment?
Well,
Ian?
we talked about 2 years, or what do you, I don't know, we could do it. I guess it's really not up to us.
For her sake, I wouldn't go any more than 2. I mean, a year would be fine if you would just reappoint her, so long as she's willing to continue to do it.
Do you think they tell us what the appointment is, or do we tell them?
Commissioners appointment. Commissioners appointment.
Yeah.
You could make her a life appointment if you're willing to take that.
Why don't we just do it effective next week when you sign the appointment through the end of 23, and then you can reappoint her for a 2-year term after that, if that's working out.
All right, so do it, and table it now next week. Yeah. We're gonna do it next week.
Yeah, and then we can, then when you do your annual appointments, you can, if you want to do for a 2-year term, if that's not otherwise specified, then that can be done.
Page 9.
Okay,
Email Mark Wynn.
all right.
It's Mark, all we have left.
Does anybody have his phone number?
And then, the other thing with the letter that you've sent out to the landowners, I appreciate you working on that. We're continuing to work on the road improvement project on 800 North, from Pickway Road to 100 East. So, that project is moving along, and I appreciate you doing all the legwork to get appraisals and.
Yeah, we got a follow-up letter. It was going out to all the rest of the landowners, so.
Yeah, so very good. The one thing, I guess, while we're waiting, I did have a bill from Elevatus Architecture to complete their study that they did for us for $1,950. So I'd look for approval on that.
Did we decide, Stan, was that in the initial approval we got ARPA funds
I
approved to
think,
pay
I
for
think
that?
Bree thought it was in the initial
In that
approval.
Yeah,
was
she thought it
19,
was
whatever it was.
19.5.
This is probably the
So this
10%
should-
retainage or
should be
something.
un-
Right,
All you gotta do really is just get that invoice to us,
Okay.
and we will take care of it.
Make motion
Is
to
this an
approve.
invoice?
yep.
Make motion to approve that payment.
All right, second.
What was that study for, Stan? What was it about, the study?
When, in March, we started a judicial facilities review committee.
Uh-huh.
And so as part of that committee, I brought the architects from Elevatus down.
Uh-huh.
And so they did a study of all our judicial facilities
I see.
departments. And, so they brought that to a concept and estimate.
For a possible new building, a new judicial,
We just wanted to look at all of our current facilities, see what kind of shape they're in, what their needs were, and we tried to take this out to a 30 to 40 year
30,
look
40.
on what our needs are right now and what they're gonna be and
Okay,
all right, so,
very good.
so anyway. So that was the
All right.
last part of the bill for the architect's fee for that, so.
Stan, do we want to do this today, or do we want to? I'm not sure what we've told the insurance broker.
Yeah, I'm okay, dude. Mark,
Um,
as far as making a decision on the liability
Property casualty.
insurances, how urgent is that if we did something today or?
Well,
The quicker the better for the insurance company, just so they can start gathering all the information.
but with the broker of record, then I think that process is gonna be simplified.
Should be,
So it's up to you.
unless one struggles to get stuff from another one.
Yeah, unless you wanna wait until Steve gets back, but that's up to you.
Would that 1 week delay be a problem?
No, I don't see that being a.
Well, are you
Good.
okay if we table it that
Absolutely,
way?
yeah,
We got
let's wait till Steve
there.
gets back.
And
I'd
that
like
way
his
you could
input.
potentially let the insurance company know you might make a decision next week.
Yeah.
If they wanted to be here.
Yeah, I'll let them know that, my intent anyway is to take action next week, make a decision, so.
I don't think we need anything else from them.
Until next week.
No, they probably just wanted to hear,
I
or not, I don't know.
One of the other things that we're gonna have to make a decision on is the Governor's Health Commission has asked us to make a decision whether to sign on to his newest proposal. And so we are waiting on a recommendation from the Health Board on how to proceed with that, because that would be additional matching funds coming from the state by virtue of the governor's health initiative. And so they are asking for a decision by September 1st. So at some point this month, I would look for a recommendation from.
They're on the agenda next week.
They're on the agenda next week. Okay.
Mike Ainsworth is on there. I don't know that Jessica will make it at that point, but Mike Ainsworth is there. I've been emailing back and forth with Mike, Stacy, Jessica. She will be getting to me all the information in case Ainsworth can't make it. I just spoke to him in the office this past week, and he plans to be here on the 22nd.
Good. Good.
Good deal.
Okay.
So we're just tap dancing until Mark gets here.
I think I had Bree call and she said he was upstairs, so he should be here.
Another thing that has moved ahead is the city has approved an interlocal agreement that was worked on between Ian Razzo, their city attorney, and their city council. And also Mark and Clayton have been working on this along with Julie Marie Brown for the purchase of land. And council has approved money to do that. And then that will be for us to put up a building for the 5311 transportation project.
That's out there at the Merit Center, right?
Correct.
That's okay, I got it. That's like a week meeting.
So anyway, that's in the works, and tonight, I guess, they're gonna get approval for Miller Land Surveying to survey that off, and then
Okay.
hopefully we can close on the property and get ready to put up a new building. I'm just looking at the ongoing business to see. We had got an email from Jeremy about putting stone in down at the Sea Line Bridge. Do we need to do anything? I mean, as far as I knew.
Not if it's already covered under ARPA.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, because I was thinking he had already gone through the procurement process and all that stuff. So as long as he stays under, I think Julie Marie was in on that email as well, and may have even answered it. But he's doing a few things, it's not just that, there's a couple other things.
All right.
She was referring to the Lions Club Park Pavilion roof cost.
Who was?
Julie Marie. But it's already been done. I mean, that's different than the stone. This is the Park Pavilion roof. But there's already a resolution 2023-4 that there's enough in there to cover for that, so nobody needs to do anything on that. One you're asking about though is the stone.
11, right? On page 11 right now.
Mark, the question that Jeremy asked on this, budgeted in the ARPA funds included stone for the trail at the covered bridge. They would just be purchasing the stone, hauling and placing the stone with their workforce, Decatur Park and Rec workforce. They currently have $60,000 left for the covered bridge improvements, and the stone will run around $2,500 to $3,000. Does he need to do anything here in this meeting, or is he fine since it's already been approved under ARPA? He just needs to.
I think it's already been approved.
Just follow the procurement policy at that point, right? So anything that's within,
He said between 2,500 and 3,000 is what he expects to cost on the stone.
Yeah, and it's under 5,000, so you
So you should be good.
you can source
it's
it.
okay.
Okay. Steve, did you have anything else while we're waiting for Mark?
I don't think so. I attended the park board meeting last night. It was held down at the Lynn Grove Park. First time I've had an opportunity to be at Lynn Grove Park in a long time. One of the things I think Jeremy's going to come to council with and talk at budget time and talk a little bit about kind of some additional funding for the whole county parks department. There's some ARPA funding that's come through there, but I think there's just some capital improvements that have been long deferred, kind of in those outlying parks. I think when I think of parks, I think more of what's happening in Decatur, but we've got Monroe, we've got Lynn Grove, we've got Geneva, parks in there, the areas that are spread pretty thin. So it's just a good discussion last night, I thought. We'll see where that goes, but felt good about the meeting. I was glad I got the opportunity to go down there and sit in that park and experience it a little bit.
Yeah. How often do these meetings take place?
Say again?
How often do those meetings?
Once a month, the third Monday of the month, I believe.
Was there any talk about the eclipse in the spring of April next year? Or
No.
okay, we are going to be part of a solar eclipse,
Right.
April 8th of next year. One of the things we're learning is people are going to go and camp out and park and do whatever they do at those type of parks.
Sure.
Because they're listed on maps, they're open areas, and they're going to go to. So I would bring up to the park board the next meeting is, are they planning on somehow trying to control that, or are they just going to let it happen, or might want to let them start thinking about that issue?
Good deal. Thank you.
Because they said you got Lynn Road, you got Covered Bridge, Monroe, the baseball field and stuff like that, but you got a little park in Monroe. I don't think that one's under our jurisdiction. That's the town of Monroe's jurisdiction, I think. But those are going to be popular places for people to congregate, and we need to find out, are they going to rope them off, not allow it, and just let it happen, or what? The Red Park in Decatur is going to be used, I guarantee, and the city has to make those plans on that type of stuff. But I want to start that thought process now, so they're not having it in March.
Good. Good deal.
That was an interesting meeting when they talked about how we're in the top edge of the total eclipse belt, and Adams County, 70% of the United States is within 1 day's drive of Adams County. So there's a real potential for a lot of large influx of people.
It's that big a deal. I never thought about it. I don't
Yeah.
even damn for eclipses myself.
So,
They
and
may
it's
come
on
and
a
they go.
Monday, it's April 24th at
April
3:09.
24th.
No,
April 8th? Oh.
April 8th?
April of 2024.
Of 2024, I'm
Comes
sorry.
into the Southwest Indiana about
Mark is here.
2:58 p.m. and it'll leave our area about 3:10 to 3:11 p.m. So the whole state is involved with it for about 12, 13 minutes.
So it's gonna be like, as far as school's concerned, right as school would be letting out if they have school that day.
Right.
Some are already postponing or having an
Are they?
evening day that Blackford County's already done it.
We tried to reschedule the eclipse to Sunday, but it didn't happen, so.
You're gonna close the county offices, Stan?
Everything except vital offices like community correction.
Of course, it doesn't get low. It's not. Just gets.
No, this will be, we're in the 99th percentile, so this will get very dark for about a minute.
Just 1 minute, okay.
Now, Union City, they'll go dark for almost 4 minutes.
Really?
And they're 100%, they're right on the line.
Union City is 1 minute.
And you'll start to fade 10, 15 minutes, a half hour before, it'll go dark and then you fade back out. So, but we are in the 99th percentile of totality, so they're guessing that the weather is appropriate, anywhere from 10 to 20,000 extra people in Adams County.
10 to 20,000?
Yes.
Wow.
So
It's happening.
I guess there's a tendency to make light of the situation and not think it's gonna be a big deal, but if there are that many people that come and want to camp out or stay or view or whatever, it will be a big deal, so.
More information will be coming out to the media and stuff too. We're just at the beginning of plans with EMA. But no, this is coming from the state. We just had a state-led meeting yesterday, web meeting. There's over 100 agencies on that web meeting. So this is a one-in-a-lifetime event for this area. They don't expect another one to come till 2099. They expect people from Chicago, Michigan, Wisconsin, because we're that northern edge. And so all the north people we're the closest to them. But Indianapolis 500 track is going to be open. NASA's going to be televised from there. IU football stadium is going to be an observation. They're right in it. This is being promoted around the state.
Huh, okay,
The
wow.
last one was 210 years ago.
You remember it?
Where is that mental health?
We got a year on there.
He used which finger to respond to that question? Which
So yes, I mean, we are taking it serious. We're planning for that, and we won't know until the day comes. We don't know what our weather in April is. Not predictable. I mean,
That's
if it's
right.
overcast or rain,
Yeah.
they won't come here. I mean, it's just, so we have to plan for it, and if it happens, we'll be ready for it.
I guess after the meeting that the Emergency Management Agency put on the other day, I guess one of my big takeaways is that we do need to take this seriously. I mean, people need to take it seriously as far as viewing and as far as the influx of people, and so there's
The state parks, any state park in the southern part, they have 54 parks that are involved in this area. And the ones that have hotels and cabins and things that, they're already booked, already full capacity. The campgrounds won't open up until October because they have a 6-month window for reservations. And they expect on the day of 6 months, every campground in those parks will also be filled.
There's a state park, state park.
State parks,
Okay,
yes.
54.
I know my nieces and her husband are driving out from Omaha
Seriously?
just to see it.
No kidding? Wow.
So like I said, there'll be more coming out to the media and stuff. We hopefully plan on having monthly little talks on the radio, prepping people for this, the health effects of looking at it. I spoke with Dr. Bixler last night. He was unaware of it. They have a big optometry conference in October. He's going to have them hopefully have some pamphlets of information to put out. It can cause permanent damage in a short period of time if you try and view it with your naked eyes.
Yeah.
Again, we're starting early, but we will be pushing this stuff out over the next several months as more things happen.
So, yeah, I guess watch for further announcements.
Yeah.
Stay aware.
Part board, you brought that up, Steve, just, they need to make decisions of how they want to handle that.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Very good. Thank you, Sheriff, for that update. All right.
That was just filler for you.
That was filler?
Yeah, that was filler.
So
And you learned something.
So stay not in the dark on that issue, are we?
He's staying home on you.
We will be for a few
There
minutes.
we go. I'm paying you back on some puns.
I'm not going to Florida on the 8th.
They were ready for me to swirl it.
So all I have is a replat. So.
Replat of a
not a big
replat?
deal. Well, it's a much longer story that I can't tell you because I don't have all the paperwork for the next round.
Okay.
But this, is a family plot owned by Arnold's and, Jesus, excuse me.
Now they're all on. Now they're back on.
Now they've got
Be careful.
a daughter and
I
a
didn't even know what it
son,
was.
want to divide it up and make it make sense. And so they're replatting today, the subdivision, and then it's going to get actually another replat after this is done, to then clean things up so that the vinegar, which Carrie is an Arnold, gets their property linked together and the Arnold, son, and then Chad gets his property figured out. See, right now, these dotted lines and where it says Gary and where it says Chad, that's actually gonna get cleaned up and moved around after they get done on replanting stuff. It's a very weird one, very difficult. We had to sit down for a while and talk to Pat Hess, our attorney, and MLS to decide how we wanted to approach this. At the end of the day, there will not be more lots created. The lines are just gonna be shifted, but part of the property was in a subdivision, part of the property was out of a subdivision. It got real weird, so we are just replanting.
It's just 12 acres in?
Yep,
Okay, 12 and a half.
yep. Yeah, I'm just.
Big roads is off.
Line. This is 200 west and 550 north. 500 north, sorry. No, 550. 500 north.
550 north.
It's really weird. This is done and they're exchanging land. Vinegar owns this old dotted line, well then, since he owns here, he'll own this and this. And then Jack will own this and this.
I'd be misunderstood. Now you're the one that was trying.
Vinegar owns this.
You got one here too. Oh, they want that.
All of those are microphones to be able to catch anybody.
Now this
talking.
is
I never looked at that closely.
Good.
Yeah, I had managed to.
This is all gonna-
Billfold all the time. Picked up trash on the highway. So I gotta have bandages to put, cover the.
Very strange.
Yeah, that's right.
Very
Appreciate it. Comes in handy. That's all you got then, Mark?
That's it.
That's all right. Good, good.
Gotta wait on Stan to second it now.
Well, there's 3 guys up in my office
You know
for
the
the last
rules.
40 minutes I was working.
The bladder comes first.
Tell them we'd have been, you can tell them we'd have been done at 11 if they hadn't done it.
No, school going. Got it.
It was in the conversation with you since next year.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Couldn't punt to her like I.
Okay, Stan, I make a motion to approve.
The eclipse, all right. I don't care about that. I'm gonna be in second.
What did Storm that day?
Yeah, I don't.
Even better.
I don't really care about that stuff. It's not my thing.
You have anything I want?
I don't think so. Didn't have anything.
Anything I don't want?
I don't have anything.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
I don't know if, hey, Mark,
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know if you and Steve, I forwarded an email from AIC.
I just read that.
I don't know if that's anything you're interested in.
Reading, right?
Yeah.
But I thought, well,
That's what I thought.
you guys are looking at it.
I hear you, and I think that's, I would like us to think about that whole,
But like that
Countywide
seminar, you
plan.
have to register by the
I
16th.
saw that, and the 26th is a bad day for me. I don't think I can get there.
I'm gonna double check. I think I can, so
26th
I
is a
will.
Wednesday,
I've been to
I
a
think.
couple of those in the past. And I think the last one I went to didn't, it wasn't about that specifically, but it was not.
I didn't even
I
look at
thought I
that.
wasted my time. I'll
It was
just say.
worth going to though.
Some of them were, but the last one wasn't. And I looked, like I was wasting your time and my time. But it wasn't about that. I mean, this is more specific, and now we're looking at it more specifically, so it's different.
Well,
This
I
one
think it's something we need to look at. I'm not available to go to that.
this one might make sense.
Well,
If I can, I'm gonna go.
okay,
I'll just tell you that.
cool. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, anything else from the general public? Anything else from the general public? I know you've been here through the meeting. Did you have anything for us today?
No, I just figured I should probably start showing up as a department head.
Okay, very
We had a
good.
good park board meeting last night that you missed down at,
I had our meeting.
good for you, good for
We had
you.
to switch it because I'm out of the office.
Good deal.
Okay, I take a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Second. All right,